Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Want to give you guys a heads up on an absolutely awesome Steam game deal over at gamesplanet.com. This was available a couple days ago, went out of stock instantly, so I'm hoping I get this video up and the deal is still in stock. We'll see. If it's not, my apologies. However, I do have a couple of other notes about that deal, so we'll get to that. A bunch of other deals, and we'll highlight all of those. Links to everything in the description box below. If you buy anything, your boy gets an affiliate kickback. You know how these things work. But right off the top, for $3.65, we have Detroit Become Human. It is 91% off. This deal is disgusting. This deal is insane, and I say disgusting in a good way. This deal is incredible. Now, it's available on gamesplanet.com. If I had to be a betting man, the Steam Winter Sale kicks off this Thursday. I think that this game is going to be one of the deep discount titles that, they started doing. It's the games that are very, very heavily discounted. Detroit Become Human prior to this usually went down to like $7.99. I foresee it going on Steam 90% off for $3.99. So if you want to wait for that, that'll be an option as well. I'm saying that because this is very similar to what happened with RoboCop Rogue City, where that game went down to $4.99 at a bunch of spots, or maybe even less than that. And I was like, this deal is insane. It has to be a price glitch, only for Steam at whatever sale was coming up to have it deep discounted for that. So it was like a new bottom price threshold that the publisher was actually setting for that game. I imagine that's happening with Detroit Become Human as well. When I initially saw this deal a few days ago, I thought it was a pricing error, but no, it is a legit price. $3.65 on this. Fantastic deal, and Detroit Become Human itself is an outstanding narrative-driven game. I always say, with the Quantic Dream games, guys, just play the games blind. Do not look up a guide, at least for your first playthrough. That's my opinion. I just think one of the biggest elements of a narrative-driven game like this is the decision-making to have consequences. You don't want to eliminate those consequences by having a guide and knowing what decisions are going to lead to what outcomes. If you beat the game and you want to replay it and have a guide after that, fine, by all means do that. But for your first playthrough, I think you want a playthrough that has consequences attached to it, and I think that creates a more engaging experience. Narratively, the game is awesome, and I think given the world state, it's a narrative that's gonna click with people a little bit more, technology evolving, etc., etc., androids, I'm not saying, oh my god, this is gonna be the future that we're, marching into, but, no, it's an incredibly compelling game, and I think for $3.65, it's an outstanding deal, and, narrative-driven, games, if you're into narrative-driven games, this is a great one. Obviously, it's not gonna have heavy action gameplay or anything like that, but the story does get pretty wild and over the top. So yeah, $3.65 on that. They are also running a Quantic Dream promo sale. You've got Fahrenheit Indigo Prophecy, that's 95 cents. You've got Heavy Rain for $1.85, and then you got Beyond Two Souls for $1.85 as well. All of those are pretty good deals. Fahrenheit was Quantic Dream's kind of breakout title, and 95 cents for it, I would say, is great. The only thing is Fahrenheit very much shows its age. Like, it's got some janky camera work. And once again, it's a narrative-driven title, but yeah, it's just not a blow-away title by today's standards, but I still think there's a quality game relative to when it came out, of course, but yeah, it is just super dated. Heavy Rain, I still think is great, $1.85 on that, and then Beyond Two Souls, I said before that I wasn't blown away by this game, but a lot of people do like it, so if you want to check it out, I mean, for $1.85, it's a pretty good deal, so there you go with that. A lot of great deals there, but definitely the standout is Detroit Become Human. I'd be remiss if I don't mention that at GamesPlanet, they've got the best deal on Digimon Story Time Stranger that I've seen. 33% off for $47. Excellent deal for Digimon Story Time Stranger, a game that I really enjoyed it. It's honestly one of my favorite games of this year. However, I do understand this game absolutely has its problems. The side content, a lot of it is just outright atrocious, like it's garbage, but you have to do it to get your agent rank up, and your agent rank is tied to Digivolution and how far you could go Digivolving, so you kind of have to do some of the side content, but the main story and the main story content is really good. Some of the dungeon design isn't great, but I think the main story itself, the core of the game, is incredibly high quality, and it gets pretty dark. Like, Digimon historically does get pretty dark from time to time, but man, Time Stranger, some of the narrative elements get pretty dark, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this game a lot. I put like 55 hours in the game. I got every single achievement in the game outside of the one that you have to do New Game Plus, and you have to play the game on the hardest difficulty, which you get after beating the game. Brothers, ain't nobody got time for that. I ain't doing that. Right now, at least. Maybe 6 months from now, a year from now, if there's not a lot of games coming out, I'll sit down and try to get that achievement, but I don't know. I'm not really feeding to go back and play the game on Mega Plus. But nonetheless, $47 on that, great deal there. And then I do want to highlight some great deals from Fanatical. They've got Resident Evil 4, the Gold Edition, 66% off for $17. Excellent deal for one of the greatest games of all time remade. You get one of the greatest games of all time again, and you get the Separate Ways expansion here as well, featuring Ada. This is a great game, and a historic low price point on this, as it is getting cheaper and cheaper. However, I will say this. Every summer, Humble Bundle does run a Resident Evil bundle, and I would imagine that Resident Evil 4, the base game, probably not the Gold Edition, the base game this year around, 2026 that is going to be included in that bundle, especially with, by that point, Requiem is going to be out and so on and so forth. But, yeah, a lot of people are trying to play through these games before Requiem comes out. You definitely should. RE4 is goated. Highly recommend that. Great deal there. Then Resident Evil 2 BIOHAZARD is $8.79. I should say Resident Evil 2 / BIOHAZARD RE2. It's not like, you know, with Resident Evil 7, how BIOHAZARD is a subtitle for the game. But I digress. Resident Evil 2 is great as well. It's a good starting point if you do want to start with this and then get to Resident Evil 4, but a really good deal, great remake, and the visuals on this are great. Highly recommend that. And then there are a couple of other Capcom deals that are very much worthwhile to check out. They've got all your typical Capcom titles, but for another Resident Evil game, Resident Evil Village, the Gold Edition, is $12.99. So, you know, worthwhile to go through that as well. But you'll definitely want to play Resident Evil 7 BIOHAZARD first, and the Gold Edition of that is $8.83, which is a pretty good pickup as well. You know, I mentioned RE2 and RE4 first because those are the Leon titles, and, you know, Requiem showcasing Leon once again, but if you want to catch up on all of them, BIOHAZARD and then Village are heavily discounted as well. So a lot of good stuff if you're looking to catch up on Resident Evil ahead of the release of Resident Evil Requiem. But mainly wanted to do this video to highlight that exceptional deal on Detroit Become Human. Like I said, if I was a betting man, I would have to imagine that this is going to be one of the deep discount deals as a part of the Steam Winter Sale that kicks off this Thursday, but we shall see. A lot of great deals as well. Fahrenheit, Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, Digimon Story Time Stranger. Yes, I know that's a little bit on the pricier side, but that's a great deal as well. And then Fanatical, a lot of good deals on Resident Evil titles as well. Links to everything, as always, in the description box below. That'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below, and if you don't want to use the outside e-tailers, do note that the Steam Winter Sale is going to be kicking off this Thursday, like I said, and there's going to be a lot of great deals and, you know, a lot of content coming from this channel, so be on lock on that. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts down below, and as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.